Welcome to God's Not Done Ministry. Thank you for tuning in.
Welcome to God's Not Done Ministry. Thank you for tuning in.
So, what if I told you that this whole modern obsession we have with hustle culture was actually solved thousands of years ago, like way before sin even entered the picture?
Yeah, that really flips the script on how we view work, doesn't it?
It really does. Today, we are doing a deep dive into the lost, life-giving rhythm of the Sabbath. And we're being guided by some just incredible research from Pastor Adrian Swanepoel. He's the author of today's material.
Right, and you can actually explore a lot more of his work at his church's channel, which is GodsNotDone1 Ministry on YouTube.
Yeah.
And he's also on TikTok under Adrian Swanzie.
Definitely check those out. And before we really jump in, Pastor Adrian Swanepoel sends his warm love and regards to every single one of you tuning in. He has such a heart for helping people find true spiritual rest.
He really does.
So let's start right at the beginning, because when I hear the word Sabbath, honestly, I just immediately picture endless rules, like restrictions.
Yeah, a lot of people do. But Pastor Swanepoel takes us straight to Genesis chapter 2, verse 3.
Okay, so it's right at creation, right?
Exactly. The Sabbath actually predates the Mosaic Law. God finished his work, he rested, and he made the seventh day holy. So it wasn't some legalistic fix for a broken, sinful world.
Right.
It was a core design feature woven into a completely perfect creation.
Hold on, let me just do the math on that for a second. If Adam was made on day 6, his literal day 1 was taking a nap.
Basically, yeah.
I mean, he didn't have to earn his weekend at all.
It is a massive paradigm shift. Humanity was actually designed to work from rest, not, hustle towards it.
Work from rest.
Yeah. Adam's very first experience wasn't toil. It was resting in the finished, perfect provision of God.
Okay, but let's fast forward to the New Testament, because a lot of people assume Jesus essentially canceled the Sabbath.
Yeah.
Like he was always clashing with the religious leaders over it, right?
He was definitely clashing, yeah, but not to cancel the day itself. The Pharisees had turned this beautiful, life-giving rhythm into an absolute minefield.
A minefield of rules.
Exactly. 39 strict categories of forbidden work, to be exact. You couldn't even carry a mat or pick a grain of wheat to eat without breaking a rule.
So the rest itself actually became this heavy burden.
Precisely. But in Mark chapter 2, verse 27, Jesus says the Sabbath was made for anthropos.
Which means what exactly?
It's the Greek word for all humanity, not just one specific nation. Jesus wasn't canceling the rest. He was breaking the legalistic chains the Pharisees put on it.
So he was reclaiming it as a day of healing and liberation.
Exactly.
I am struggling with the timeline here, though. If Jesus reclaimed the Sabbath and the early Jewish believers kept it, my calendar right now says Sunday is the universal day of rest.
Right. There's a missing puzzle piece there.
Yeah, how did we end up abandoning the actual day?
Well, it wasn't a theological shift at all. It was actually a political one.
Yeah, really? Political?
Yes. In 321 AD, Emperor Constantine issued a civil decree. He had this vast empire that was totally split between pagans who worshiped the sun and the early Christians.
Oh, I see where this is going.
Right. To politically unify them, he mandated rest on the Roman venerable day of the sun.
Wow. So over centuries, that political tradition just kind of swallowed God's biblical revelation.
That's exactly what happened.
Man, if you are sitting in traffic right now, just utterly exhausted by your schedule, you are the exact target of that shift. I mean, we are paying a massive spiritual cost.
We really are. And Pastor Adrian points out that an overworked, frantic church is actually a spiritual tactic.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
Yeah, if the enemy can keep believers exhausted and totally distracted, they lose their power.
But there's hope, right?
Absolutely. As Pastor Swanepoel loves to say, God has the final say and the last move.
I love that. God has the final say and the last move.
Yes. His enduring design outlasts any human system or cultural exhaustion.
So practically speaking, how do we get that back? Because our society just runs 24/7 now.
Well, Pastor Adrian directs us to Hebrews chapter 4, verse 9. It confirms that a Sabbath rhythm absolutely remains for believers today.
Okay, so it's about intentionality.
Exactly. If your job forces you to work on Saturday, the principle still stands. You must fiercely protect a different 24-hour window.
And that means actually disconnecting, right?
Yeah.
I mean, not just staying home, but literally turning off the smartphone notifications.
Yes, ignoring the inbox.
Right, ignoring the inbox and just delighting in God. It's carving out holy time in a really noisy world.
Absolutely. It's all about the posture of your heart.
That brings me to a final thought for you to chew on today. What if your refusal to rest is actually a subtle form of arrogance?
Oof, that's heavy.
It is. But think about it. It's a subconscious belief that the world, or your family, or your career will literally fall apart if you aren't holding it together for just one single day.
Wow.
Yeah. True Sabbath requires trusting that God is holding the universe together, not you.
That is such a profound challenge. And, well, to close out our time together, we really want to speak Pastor Adrian's favorite blessing over you from Numbers chapter 6, verses 24 through 26. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace.
If today's message touched you, don't forget to subscribe on YouTube at GodsNotDone1 and follow on TikTok at Adrian Swanzie and grab that free resource at the bottom of the latest videos. We'd love to keep walking this journey with you. Until next time, God bless you richly.